All right. Welcome, everybody. And I can already see that we're off to a good start because Adam is talking about his inability to be trusted with mod powers, with admin powers. We lost a lot of good people that day. We lost a lot of good people that day. I am your host, Famine of Famine Studios. This is my co host for the evening, Storm, Mr. Storm Shadow. Yeah. The Duke of Castle Famine. And he's hanging out. How's everybody doing tonight? And just to be clear, I was on Adam's side with the purge. Like, we were doing bad things. But I'm just saying, we did lose a lot of good people. It is live. It is live. Catch the replay. Wants to spend some time together. Hey, go play hide the zucchini. You know what I mean? Happy almost Valentine's Day. But we have this. We got this ridiculous, silly little Friendship Heights, which I guess is kind of like Calico Critters, right? Kind of like Calico Critters from whatever those toy lines are. Excuse me, I just had dinner before I jumped on this. But I want to turn this into something sci-fi and not this. So let's take it apart and take a look. Your Barbie wants those cucumbers, but your Barbie has no place to put those cucumbers. Ken doesn't have a cucumber. Barbie doesn't have a cucumber receipt. But we're gonna remove this package off of here. I thought about opening it up ahead of time, but I didn't want to deprive you from these noises of the package being opened. Cat Schrodinger. Well, so I inherited / adopted Storm and Daisy. They were already named, and they seemed pretty fond of those names. I did get to give Mr. Storm a new middle name, though. So he's Storm Shadow, just like the G.I. Joe character, the Cobra assassin. But he follows me around. He quite literally is like a little walking shadow, so it was appropriate. All right, and from opening up the package, the container, there's this odd little greebly piece. Let's see if you guys can pick up the texture. Yeah, there you go. It's got a weird ass texture to it. I'll hold on to that. Use it on something. No zip tie. It's paper cord. Let's see here. So that frees up the bottom. Biblically accurate Barbie hip joints. That sounds like a something you can get from a woman of the night in California on a good Tuesday. So possibilities are endless. All right, let's see here. Okay, cut that off there. Oh, all right. Those food items are loose. Like me after a couple of cocktails. And by a couple, I mean one. I am easy. And it's going to make loud noises, so to apologize. We got cupcakes. Oh, shit. Cookies. These are for children? These are all choking hazards. Are you kidding me right now? Dear Lord, if I gave this to any child, they would immediately throw the shit in their mouth because kids are dumb. Sorry, kids are dumb. If you have kids, they're dumb. Untapped market. First retro Mando to be a retro version of the Mandalorian Judge. Do it! I also identified as a choking hazard. Oh, cool. Sorry, I've been kind of paying attention to the news all week about this ransom situation. It's pretty fascinating, and they just said that they've detained somebody in relation to the case. Really still or seized up? All right, let's get this. There's a sign here. We're going to be taking some stickers off, and these can go to somebody's nieces or nephews, or I don't know, not me. But let's see, we've got cookies. I'll bring you in real close. We've got tiny little cookies. Those are something. 2 cupcakes. Little coffee cups. Those are cool. Slice of pie. Some real actual berries there. Those are real berries. They just froze them. I'm kidding. This appears to be a tray for the cookies. So I guess like you display them in a window. 2 plates. Some type of coffee maker. Espresso machine, actually, it looks like. 2 baguettes. I said baguettes. Relax. It's an espresso maker. And there's a little bag. We got some nanners. We got some, what is this? Little bag for apples. So we got apples, we got carrots. Whatever in the fuck those are. Those are some type of lettuce. That's cool. They look like shuttlecocks from badminton. A watermelon, I assume. Some ears of corn that we're going to paint up at the end. Some kakarotts. So we got some kakarotts there. And then the backside is another. Okay. All right. I'd dig on that. So we're going to take these stickers off of here. So let's get started on that. One is too much innuendo for your conservative ears. Because I said shuttlecock, YouTube famine called me a slur. Do-do-do-do. And it's got a... It does. It looks like one of those... the line is... Friendship Heights. I'll hold up the logo so when you're searching for it, you can see. Friendship Heights. And you're right, it does look like a one of those park kiosks at the beginning of the trail, at the trailheads, where it's like, hey, don't shit. If you carry something in, take it out. I do agree. But yeah, let's... I'm just trying to see if there's any... And the company is called Far Out Toys. It's white on white on the bottom. It's not Happy Tree Friends, unfortunately. That'd be funny. I thought maybe there would be like a screw that could pop this thing apart. I'm sure, just looking at it, if I started to apply heat and twist and bend, but I don't need to complicate that at all. That's no reason for that. But yeah, let's start by taking some of these stickers off. And I guess the one side is Biscuits Cafe and the other side is Millie's Market, but we're going to take those stickers off. Gonna need a container for those like treats. Oh look, I have a container here that came from Abby. Abby, when you tune in, thank you. And I will just put them in here for now. I do like this little machine though. That's gonna be something different for sure. And like I said, I'm gonna use the snacks and food for their intended purpose. They're just gonna get painted different colors. Make them more science fiction-y because why not? Also, for those fans of chewing Polly Pocket clothes, feels like it's made of Polly Pocket clothes. And now I don't have to put you guys on mute because Aunt Chantoni, as you guys know him, got me this awesome. It's for electronics to melt solder, but you can turn it down and turn the wind speed down, and it's a handheld heater. So I'm just gonna turn that on, and I've got it set to 107 Celsius, and just use this to heat up the stickers to make it easier to peel it off. And it's not loud. That's as warm as my hairdryer. And you know, nobody with earphones is grabbing their heads right now and falling to the ground screaming. Which kind of miss that. I like the ability to mute, you know? Mute you guys. Scream quietly into the abyss. But I'm gonna go ahead and where is that? Ah. Bring those down here. That's pretty great. Make those nice and warm, so we'll turn that off. Use our tweezers. Oh yeah. It did the job. Cool. Thank you again, Aunt. Appreciate it. That made the sticker removal freaking way easier than it usually is. Same with this side. Let's see. Looks like it does need some heat. Turn it on. It does the job. Area Man uses tiny electronic hairdryer. Doesn't blow out people's ears more at 11. And I do want to shout out Fat Red Foo, who's in the chat now, if I recall. He sent me a sizable package about the size of my torso, if not larger, that the cats are enjoying the box now, and I'll show some of that stuff off in a little bit. But I appreciate that, thank you. And as I said, I'm counting it as a Valentine's Day gift. I think we're in love now. I think that's how that works. There we go. Hell yeah. World's easier to pull these stickers off. That's dope. Only a little bit of residue on that one. And that's just because I was a little impatient there. Pull that right off. Oh. So we got a sign here. It'll be good. We'll have to You see how reflective that is. We'll have to scuff that up before we apply paint. That plastic is very shiny. Get rid of that sticker. Let's see if these ones come up. These may need to be heated up because, again, yeah, I think those definitely need some heat applied. So let's do that. What's up, Timbo? Welcome, welcome. And, look at how much he stuffed himself into this package. That's hilarious. Boom. Cool, cool. Let's see if we can get this one off. The town bulletin board sign. It's Acorn Coffee tasting, Biscuits Baking Class, Electric Scooter Club, Community Welcome, Community Cleanup Day, Bring Your Friends and Gear, and Apple Picking. I'd love to know where my my X-Acto knife went to. Because it was here, and now it's not. There it is. I'm just not using my eyeballs. Oh, and for those who haven't seen the new layout, bam, that's what's up. What up, Collector? How you living, man? We are taking apart little happy fucking tree friends thing that everybody keeps talking about, and we're trying to make this into a sci-fi something or the other. We'll get there. Right now I'm using the heat to loosen up the adhesive on the sticker that put this thing on here. And it seems to be going pretty well. Collector is one of the co-hosts on WMC on Fridays. Be sure to check out his channel as well and his station. Collector, go ahead and promote yourself in the chat. Feel free. Yeah, this thing is making my life infinitely easier if I don't burn myself with it. Which I absolutely could do. What's up, Big Storm? Hi, buddy. Oh, you getting in that box, getting in all the way. I'll burn the shit out of myself. Yeah, he's comfy. He's a good boy. Sorry, buddy. I say he's comfy as I just jumped and shook the whole table. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere here. So we got, yeah, it's hot. So we got the sticker largely off of one side. We're going to flip it over and take care of the other in just a second here. Just getting the residue of where I tore it. Get that off of here. Get out of there, residue. We don't want you here. We know what you did. The good news is this plastic seems pretty structurally sound. It's very rigid. So the good news is that when we start to like paint on it and everything, it shouldn't encounter any issues, and it should all take paint pretty evenly. I dare to say, if I were to do it, if the weather were correct and time and all that stuff, if I were to spray paint this, I think it would take paint very well. It's off of there. And then we just got the one sticker on this side. We can handle that right now. Let me check the chat while we're here. Cat looks comfy as hell. Yep. Finally. I knew it was going to happen. Oh, me burning myself? Yeah. Which is wild because I do not, and you know, now knock on wood, I do not burn myself with my hot glue gun. I think I burned myself with my hot glue gun once, maybe twice, and that was like when I was going really fast. You know, I was going quickly and wasn't paying too much attention. But I mean, otherwise, I'm pretty good about heat, so it got me though. It got me just enough. Just enough to remind me that I'm alive. Oh yeah. I got the corner up. Now we're just going to apply heat. And yeah, this thing is a little, neat little kiosk, little display. I know for sure we're going to make it look cool as fuck. And I'm going to do it all in this one video here. I don't know if I'll get to the food tonight, but painting this thing up and making it look the way we want to, we're absolutely going to do that tonight. That's why I started a little bit early. And also because there's no fallout tonight, you know? Everyone brace themselves. We are in for a 5-hour stream. Drink your 5-hour energy drink, kids. We're going to get wild with it tonight. I've seen some people get themselves bad with hot glue guns before. Severely worse than I have. But I have seen cosplayers ruin perfectly good builds by setting their heat gun down when they're done, because it's almost like that mental disconnect. Like I turn the trigger off, and I've set it down, and I'll set it down right on a completed piece, and that hot tip from the gun, the heat gun, will just burn right through the foam project that they were working on and completely ruin it. And it's so depressing to see. It's one of those where it's like, man, you hear about it and then you see it and it's just, oh, what a shame. It's like, there's a story that Adam Savage tells from one of the guys at ILM. They had just finished the werewolf prosthetics for the Thriller music video, and they had it on a mannequin, and they were just about done. They were getting ready to wrap it to send it to Michael Jackson to get it on set that day, and somebody picked up the can of what they thought was hairspray and went and sprayed it with spray paint because they didn't read the can. They were in a hurry and thought that they would give it one last blast of hairspray, and it was spray paint, and then they had to fix it, and so it held up everything that day. Yeah, so I try not to rush to do things like that, and try to be aware of the tools that I'm working with. There we go. Set. See if we can pick up some of that residue with this. Don't matter. It's going to get covered up anyway. But yeah, so let's turn that off. Set her down. And also, I've been working on a sneak peek. Don't tell anybody. I'm not putting this on the YouTube yet, but Ash Williams little sneak peek. Put that back over there. Don't tell anybody though. It's just between us. All right? I shared that with you. Keep it quiet. If you wanted to say he's half the man he used to be, that's because I took his lower half off so I could work without the legs in the way. If you wanted to, you could slap this onto a piece of card, make a template. I might hold on to this. I don't know what I'm going to put on there, but I know it's not going to be any of this bull crap, but you could make a template for like a billboard size. So I'll stick that over here. That's a maybe. So we've taken the stickers off. It's got the little trays. Let's get a piece of Scotch-Brite and weather this up. Oh, these right here, these LOL doll, this stack of four of the buildings, for the shipping containers. Oh, just my friend Fat Red Fruit sending it over. Valentine's Day gift. What's up? How you doing? I appreciate it though. I'm swimming in these things now. Like I said, let's get some Scotch-Brite. Scotch-Brite. Where are you? And this is fun because I moved a couple of things around, and now I'm like, where did I put certain things? That's okay, because that's part of it, man. That's part of the life that we live. Paintbrushes. There it is. Okay. Thought I was going to have to find some Scotch-Brite somewhere else. And some sanding sticks to replace the ones that we're going to go through. Still have at least 3. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I have two that are apart. I've separated them. I've got them aside. I'm kind of truly waiting for this weather to give me like 2 or 3 days in a row where it's between 30 and 40 degrees so I can spray paint outside, bring them into dry. That's my winter weather hack. If you guys ever need to, wait until you get a couple of 40 days, spray it, and then bring it inside to let it off gas and dry. Don't spray it and leave it outside, let it sit for a little bit. No, spray paint it, bring it in. It's going to save you some time. But let's get a... And this is what the bottom looks like, in case anybody curious. Or you could just look at Adam. Womp womp. But let's just do our best to take the shine. What's up? What's up, Jerry? We're going to take the shine off. Thank you for joining us. And cut down on the reflectiveness, because it's going to help us give this something for the paint to stick to, some tooth, some purchase, as they say. We're going to do some damage to this a little bit. Maybe glue some stuff to the exterior. But we want to get this so that it's not shiny. so that we know that the paint's going to grab hold of it. And that's going to make our lives a little bit easier as we go along. And I'm going to get anywhere, essentially anywhere that I see and I can reach. But like, let's see here. This is the shiniest side. And you can see it's still got gloss to it. But if you look, let's see how good the iPhone camera is. You can see those little micro scratches on there. And that's going to be what our paint adheres to. That's going to give us the texture for, I'm like, oh, the je ne sais quoi, certain something, you know. It's going to give us the texture for our paint to stick to. So that's why we're using Scotch-Brite. You can use the red Scotch-Brite. It's a little more abrasive. Micro scratches. Yes. Sometimes words elude me. Micro scratches. No, that's micro penises, I think. TVC land speeder. I have Luke's land speeder from the 90s, but it's in a box. Unless you have like a ballpark question. Get in here. And I'm just doing this surface right now. Do that on both sides. I'm not too worried about the wood because that's like got built in, I say built in, molded in texture, wood texture. So that's going to be good. We'll put some browns in there, get it down into the deep recesses and then wipe it down. It'll look cool. But we want to get anything essentially that's like shiny plastic that we're going to be putting paint on. Excuse me. And again, this pink plastic is very shiny. Pink Plastic Club. Oh, and it makes a terrible sound. So if you want to rip your earballs out, Scotch-Brite this plastic. Even the bricks, the brick has stone texture. So that's going to be great. I'm late and didn't see the notification because I'm watching the Olympics. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. That goes towards the, Tone, that goes towards the cats hosting a video. I appreciate that. You got extra treats, Stormy Storm. He's like, why are you waking me up, Father? Say, thank you, Tone. I'm going to go back to sleep in my box now. Adam, this box was for Sarah, for some things that I'm sending to her, and now her cat's going to scream at it. Stormy Storm being a good boy. He has, for whatever reason, taken a liking to that. It's a box on a counter, and it's in my space, and those are like the top 3 things that that Storm likes. To be next to Dad, a cardboard box, and to be up on the table and in the way. Herman's going to rip it apart. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing Herman's going to be pissed. And also the Defiance of Herman. Great band name. Great band name. Piece of cardboard. The person is... Okay, so apparently the person that they've... anybody keeping score, the person that they've arrested or pulled in for questioning in the Guthrie kidnapping is not a family member, and they were detained outside of Tucson, Arizona. If you care. I'm just trying to keep you involved in the news that's not... I mean, it's sad news, but it's not the other sad, horrible news that's happening, so that's what you get, all right? Also, he's got my hat on. He's got my hat on. Person is going to be searched. All right. Oh, well, thank you, Red. I appreciate it. You didn't have to do that after all this. You got the containers. You didn't have to do that. Daisy came down from her... if you built a wooden box the same size... They have a wooden box in the kitchen that they sleep in. I was going to bring it in here, but it seems like just the Amazon box is really attractive to cats for some reason. But yeah, Daisy came down from her Daisy tower, which is right there. And she hopped down there. She came down, and then the towers were right there because I opened it up. And she was trying desperately to figure it out. And so finally she like put one foot onto it, stepped on it, and then hopped down. And I had a good laugh about it. All right, so we Scotch Brite it. Oh, let's do the sign on this side. This side needs it too. Forgot. Here we go. And we'll cheat real quick. We're gonna take a sanding stick, and I want to add some more texture to this plastic because I want it to kind of favor fabric. We might glue paper towel strips onto here to make it look fabric-y. We'll see. I think your TV just went out like you lost signal, or TV went out like the TV died and is never coming back. Or did the TV go out for milk like my father did and then never come back? Papa, you don't have to get milk at a special location. They carry it at gas stations. You didn't need to leave. Sorry. Too real? Oof, careful. Growing up, we had a cat named Frisky. Hey, I had a cat named Friskies too. It was named after the bag of cat food because I was very unoriginal. You can hear stuff when you use the remote, but no visual. Yeah, my dad went out for milk and he just kept going. I don't know why. Unfortunately, he returned. Did he bring the milk though? We can cover, Tone. We can cover on where my father went for milk on the show on Saturday. You guys should watch. You should watch. You should watch the show on Saturday. All right. We're gonna set the tone. I'm gonna enter tone. It's Valentine's Day. It's gonna be very erotic, very fun. Got too drunk to forgot the milk, so you had to go back out and get more. Dino milk. You get the fuck out of here with your dinosaur milk, father. All right. That's garbage. Enter the famine. Wu-Tang. It's for the children. There we go. I just want to take the shine off of some of these surfaces because they really are shiny. Toy fair this weekend too. That's right. Nebula's nightclubs and never returned. Adam, Nebula's long lost wife. Yeah, Toy fair this weekend. Set the tone with famine and Valentine's Day. And if you're in the Adirondack area, there's the Winter Carnival as well that's happening. Stephen Murphy. Hey, how's it going? Those new Inquisitors do look cool. I'm looking forward to picking those up. I'll probably be picking up a few of those because those are great bucks. All right. We'll do the sign last. I don't think we need to. JK, we're going to do it now. We're going to sand it. Scotch Brite it now. Yeah, I was impressed by the Amuse figure. That set looks pretty dope. Thing's slick. Exciting next Wednesday when the fish alone meals will begin 40 days. That's because Jesus. That's because Jesus went in the desert for 40 days and ate at fish fry. I read that in the book. Page 38, I think it is, where he talks about the fish fry. Maul Shadow Lord. Yeah, you're not wrong there. That's the goddamn truth. I'm still convinced. I said it on, I think, the last stream, or maybe it was on World Makers Consortium, but I'm convinced that there's something going on with D. Bradley Baker and the rights, like how much money he gets per character. And so that's what's preventing them from putting out all those Bad Batch things all at once. And that's why we haven't had any real, like, unique clones come out or anything like that, because he does the voice for them. And I think it's absolutely got something to do with that. Now, whether it's intentional on his end or if it's Hasbro or Disney or Lucasfilm or whatever entity controls that and is deciding, like, hey, we don't want to pay likeness for all these characters, so you get one every once in a while, so we don't have it, like, weighed down and slammed. I'm damn convinced that that's the issue. I don't think it's a lack of support from the companies or anything like that. I think it's some bean counter somewhere deciding, hey, financially, not for us. I don't like catfish. I've had catfish before a few times, a few different ways. Not for me. I mean, I'm glad you can get it. Live the dream, baby. But I like fried haddock. Really enjoy a good fried haddock sandwich. Let's get some primer on this bitch. On certain parts of this bitch. So we're going to put this up for the time being. You dreaming, buddy? You having little squeaky dreams? Yeah, he's a handsome boy. Po' boy. Find us some greens, collar them up. You know, I used to be a saucier back in Louisiana. That fucking movie, tremendous. All right, got our brush here. Pre-wetting the brush, which is something I learned. I usually always do it, but oh, the Cisco fried fish. That's actually made of Cisco. We are just putting on a matte black primer. This is like my new go-to primer, guys. I actually found that you can get big containers of it. Is Tester's chalkboard paint. It's a nice matte black paint. Big fan. It's become my go-to primer. I like a salmon. I'll enjoy a good salmon. Or a, you know, a Chilean sea bass from time to time. I know a chef named Alejandro. Really something. Spared no expense, but I do eat a lot of sushi though. So I mean, I guess that is primarily a fish food. Not a fish food as in something that you feed the fish, but Tuna tartare. Ugh, fuck me up. Give me pepper tuna. When me and my best friend go for sushi, we will eat like 10 orders of pepper tuna. Just fuck it up. It's a taxidermist. Too many strange and terrible things in fish tummies. Give it to us raw and wriggling. Sorry, Storm. I know Adam just hopped up on his computer chair and is doing his Gollum impression right now. I just know he is. 6 field mice in its stomach. That's awesome. Was somebody bait fishing with mice? Which I've seen people bass fish with mice before. Oh, big stretch from the stormy storm. He's a big boy. Yeah, big huff. Was I right? Did you hop up on your chair and start doing your Gollum impression? I know my friend. I've known Adam for fucking quite a long time. Adam's known me since I was freshman in high school, maybe a little older, from the JP Toys days. So I able to tell. Adam's known me for 14 centuries. If we were on Buffy, I would be Angel and he would be Spike. That's how long we've known each other. He makes fun of my Nancy Boy hair gel. We've never been intimate except that one time. We don't talk about that one time. That was special, and we were on international waters. It doesn't count. I did do Gollum and immediately lost my internet connection. That you probably fucking kicked your router. Okay. There's a ladybug bouncing about up there. They come out when the weather gets extremely cold and then it gets warm. And I say warm, using that term very, very, very lightly. It was warm enough that my Jeep actually started today. Whereas yesterday it was so fucking cold with the negative temperatures outside that my Jeep just simply would not turn over. But today, went out there, fired right up. Just gonna put a coating over the bricks too, why not? And they've got some good texture if you just wanted to dry brush those. But we don't just want to dry brush those. We want to paint them to look similar to the other bricks in and around Gimmick, right? And this is why I was saying you can almost hear it, actually. I don't know how good the camera will pick it up, but you can hear the brush depositing paint on those scratches to give it something to grab onto. Because if that was that smooth, the paint would not stay on there. As soon as you touched it, it would, even if it was dry, it would come right off. Even a really good paint. So that's also why we put down a base primer layer. See, you can see it on there. The scratches. That's why we do it, kids. That's why we put in the time, a little bit of extra time. And you do it. That way you don't have to go back and touch it up 28 times. And you're like, man, and the paint doesn't stick. And I learned from my experience. Use my knowledge, Anakin, I beg you. And as I said, we may still cover this in paper, but in like shop cloth or something. I have some fabrics too that we could use, but I don't know. So for now, we're just gonna give it a good coating of a primer. For a safe and secure society. I'm in a mood. Tonight. Let's see, the target, the count clock is going. Let's see. I can change this goal. So let me set this goal. Hang on a second here. You cannot create. You can either wait until you're. What does that say? All right, fuck me, I guess. Maybe if I click on it and hold it or something. Nope, we're going. We're still going. We'll honor that though throughout the stream. So if I do get a couple more, I go a straw roof. Oh, I think we're gonna see a shitload of Grogu and Mando stuff. Like I said, I think we're about ready to be hammered by marketing for that movie, which is fine. I don't want to do thatched because there's no thatched. Like I don't have thatched roof anywhere in there because there's not like that level of plant life around Gimmick. But there is material awnings and stuff. But also I could just paint this to look like metal, copper. I will not eat fish out of a jar. That's a rule I have. Or any type of creamed fish. You try and approach me with creamed fish, I will strike you. Like a goddamn ninja. I'll just try it, it's really good. You're about to try this fucking fist. Eats tins of anchovies. Is it Monk? Who am I kidding? I know it is. It's Calvin. Oh, shit. You know, you got to leave him outside overnight a couple of times so he can appreciate being allowed in with the people. Put him out there. You give him a cardboard box, maybe a towel, so that he can use it as a blanket. You let him learn what it's like. And then when he comes back in, if he's good, he can have people food and be with the people. If not, right back outside. Well behaved and off the drugs for 2 months now. Did he, has he brought up the motorcycle thing again? I still can't make heads or tails of whatever the fuck he was talking about with that. this. And a lawnmower blade on the street on the way to work the other day. Oh, that's good. That's what you want to be walking down the street carrying on your way to work. And the Micro Machines Well, that's cool. I never find them fucking Micro Machines Transformer outside. Micro Machines. Transformers, robots in disguise. Smoked oysters. Ugh. Ugh. Old famine cannot do oysters. Not for me. It is both a texture and a flavor thing for me. I can do clams. I can't do mussels either. Something about them, just not for me. And I've cooked thousands. Probably tens of thousands of mussels for people, doing mussels marinara, all kinds of basic fucking pasta dishes where people want mussels in it, but not for me. More power to you. If I'm ever someplace and my meal comes with it and I don't make a substitution, you're more than welcome to it. But, I just cannot do those. Shrimp. Shrimp is good. Love me some sea bugs. Shrimps is bugs. Coconut scrimps. We used to get the coconut shrimp from what's the fucking company? We were just talking about them. You know, because they make everything for every restaurant. Those ones are good. What's up, dead man? Happy, what is today? Tuesday, yeah. Goddamn lobster rolls. Coconut milk is only good from a fresh coconut. Have you ever milked a coconut? Cisco, thank you. Yeah, the Cisco coconut shrimp is pretty good for a pre-packaged seafood product. I was going to say Quan's, but that's not the correct one. Are they just a local place? Lobster parts, sliced hot dog bun. No, you can't do the lobster roll on a shitty regular fucking hot dog bun, right? First, it's got to be the right bun. It's got to be the claw meat. You can't just have. My mother is the type of person who will just eat whatever part of the fucking lobster that you place in front of her. It doesn't matter which part of the lobster came from, it could be the lobster toes, and she'd be excited to eat that shit, and I just simply cannot. What do you use the crab meat? The imitation crab meat for the lobster? Fake crab, yep. I'm spoiled because like my grandparents were not wealthy whatsoever, but we always went to Gloucester, Massachusetts for our vacations, and Gloucester is a coastal town. It is a port town where they have fresh seafood that comes in. All the Gordon's fishermen products, they all come in through there. And you can get fresh seafood, and you can also buy it right there at the docks. So you could buy it for way cheaper at the docks and have it prepared or take it home. And so I got to experience good seafood, whereas other people did not. There is a giant lobster in one of the restaurants that we like to go to for I like to go to for chowder in Rockport, and it was fucking thing's huge. It's on the wall. I've got photographs of it somewhere. If I'm feeling froggy, I'll dig it out. But yeah, no, I love me some good lobster, good seafood, and I was very very lucky as a child and into my adulthood, and still when we go there to get good seafood. Yeah, you could go to. We used to be able to go to fucking Walmart and buy a shotgun, buy a lobster, and buy Star Wars toys for $4.88. What a time to be alive at midnight, at any time, honestly. And I'll just say it: George Bush became president, really fucked things up. Went to Maine for the first time last fall. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Maine lobsters. There's a lobster company around here. They have lobster trucks, and they bring some lobster from Maine allegedly. It's pretty good. I like going to Maine because there's like all the Kittery Bunkport and all that, and there's a lot of good like flea markets and like taxidermy and hunting and fishing supply stuff, so you can get you know, milsurp, things like that. That's always the cool shit that I like to pick up in Maine. And also, like, Maine is a different animal. It's almost like a different country. It's just fascinating to go there. And I will tell you this: someone who's lived near Maine, lived near enough near Maine to have spoken to people from Maine, people who have lived here and moved here from Maine. Those people on that show, Maine Cabin Masters, I don't know why they all talk like they're from Boston, but I've yet to meet a Mainer that sounds like they're from Boston like those people do, which leads me to believe my conspiracy theory that I have no basis on is that those people were not true Mainers. They were transplants from Boston. Right now, somebody from Maine is throwing things across the room screaming because I'm right. He knows! He knows too much! Massholes. Selling a gorilla. Met a guy in Connecticut who spent some time in federal prison for selling someone. Were you there to meet someone to get the gorilla? Was that why you were there? Also, have you seen the American Dad episode where Haley breaks being vegan and eats fucking gorilla meat, and then it turns out it's a whole sting operation? That episode kills me every time. Um, we went to Maine once on vacation, and then the next couple of times my grandparents went to Maine for, and I say vacation, it was usually like a weekend. I'm not uh when I say go on vacation, to me it's like, oh, I take a weekend and go somewhere, or like I travel somewhere. But my grandparents went to Maine for vacation without me more times than I ever went, just because I didn't want to go to Maine. But now, as like an adult, like I said, I'm fascinated by the Bigfoot stuff, and there's stuff for me to do now that I've like experienced the world and developed tastes. Whereas like younger famine was like toys, toys, girls, girls and toys. Read a book. Like now it's like, oh, I go to Maine and see this or that, or look around, go on a little stupid hike. I hate hiking, by the way. I know it's good for me. I know I should do it more often, but I hate it. It's dumb. Oh, let me walk somewhere and get fucking winded. Oh, look at the view. As I'm sucking wind trying to catch my breath. Yeah, great view. Now we gotta walk back. I digress. Like I said, I know it's good for me. But even when I was in better shape before COVID, Girls with Toys, that's a different channel. That's the after show. Um, Even when I was in better shape, I will go for a run. I'll run a mile. If I have to go, if I've got to like play a game, like ultimate frisbee or whatever white people still what do white people play? What sports are we good at? Doing one of those things. I'll be out of breath, but I'll still play and I'll have a good time. But just for whatever reason, like fucking hiking is just feels like a punishment every time. Frisbee golf. Let's see. Is Here we go. Let's get some conjecture going in the chat. Is frisbee golf a sport or is it a skill-based challenge? Pickleball. White folks do like pickleball. That is true. The whites are real big fans of pickleball. I'm white, but I'm not pickle. I guess frisbee golf because they have a course here where I used to run actually. It's they play with weighted frisbees and you have different weights to try and make it into this wire basket or chain basket. Because like I think bowling can be a sport to a degree, but also having met bowlers and people in bowling leagues my whole life, I know a lot of those people are not. They're not athletes. White but not practicing. I like that, Bjorn. That's good. I like that a lot. What are you doing, Stormy Storm? Yeah. You showing off your foot fur? Skill-based challenge. All right, see? Because I like to play mini golf or go to the driving range. But if you were like, hey, famine, let's go play 18 holes, after I was done calling for an adult, I'd be like, no, I don't think that golf is for me. Hey, you have a good night, Tone. Thank you for your contribution to the challenge, and the cats appreciate it. And we will see you on Let's Set the Tone on Saturday. You guys all should tune in. Father built a golf course that your coworker now works at. My grandfather built a Buddhist temple. Well, he didn't build the entire temple, but he did build a couple of buildings that are added onto it in Cairo, New York. And it's a very famous place, I guess, amongst Buddhists and people that smoke weed. Because every stoner I know is like, oh, I love to get high and go sit there. But it's so famous, it's even got its own goddamn Wikipedia page. I like I said, you give me give me a fucking game of mini golf, I'll have a blast. Have a great time. Take me to the driving range. Field day for me. I love it. But hey, do you want to go play golf at the course? No. No, I don't. How dare you? Huh. There we go. All right, now we got some good layers of primer on here. Just want to touch up these little corners that I missed because I was working at a different angle. Get a little paint in those corners. And we're gonna let this dry for a second. Okay. 18 holes of golf takes up a good section of the day. Yeah, that too. And I know people enjoy their games, and I'm just it's not for me. Avoided doing it 6 years. That's because you'd probably hit somebody with the club. Like all the times that they didn't fill their coolers or replace the mirepoix or whatever, like refill the fucking blue cheese dressing and whatnot, you'd find it would just creep up in the back of your head like venom and just fucking, and then all of a sudden you'd be hitting somebody in the head with a golf club. You know, you should go, Adam. You should definitely go. Chasing wildlife off the course. Today's seltzer is a polar seltzer. Curling and cornhole. Again, is cornhole a sport or is it a skill-based game? A skill-based challenge, because I don't think that cornhole is a sport. Because I have seen some very drunk individuals who should not be allowed near children play that game. Gotta be honest. I think it's just skill-based, not athletic-based. There's no athleticism involved in that. I'm just throwing it out there. Curling, yeah. That's a sport. Well, Bjorn, the channel is called cornholeisasport.com. That's cheating. My job, my old company, what was that? Cornhole game setup, kid rock music starts playing in your brain. The company that I previously worked for was based out of Connecticut, and there were a lot of team members that we had in Connecticut, and they all planned a company picnic, and then they found a dead body that was murdered there at the picnic area. So that got changed and moved around to the company picnic and hike. And people were like, "Oh, now where are we going to go to play cornhole?" Well, yeah, not the place where the guy was murdered or girl. I can't remember what it was, what the person was, but yeah, no, you don't get to play that game there anymore. And I'm glad, honestly, that I live. Horseshoe's skill based game, absolutely not an athletic based game at all. Um, but I'm glad that I've lived my life in such a way where if I pass away right now at the ripe old age of 39, going on 40 here soon in May, that there won't be a charity cornhole event for me. King Furniture, where you get the real deal. The at the risk of I say at the risk of at the chance of slightly doxing myself, even though you guys have seen the exterior of my home, most of you have my address. The house across the street from me was involved in a very famous murder investigation because the previous tenant got tired of her husband hitting her, so she killed him and fled. And she was legally blind, and she drove all the way to North Dakota before she got pulled over for reckless driving. And it was all over the news. It was, yeah, murder in the hood. And I got to be honest with you, good for her. But she was much older and just tired of getting wailed on by her husband, and said, "Okay, enough's enough," and ended his career. And I was friends with her son, dark energy from the house across the street, to do the paint. That's why this paint is so dark. So I use the dark energy from the street, the house across the street. Now that house across the street's MAGA, so yeah, that actually makes sense. Different family, but
I can feel the evil saturating from the house. It makes my brush flow.
just in case anybody's wondering, I'm using the sign base to hold the sign. Stormy Storm, he's so handsome, sleeping in his cardboard box. All right. I definitely think I'm going to do copper. 300K, if anybody. No. Although apparently, if I were to pressure wash my home and then paint everything inside white, I could sell this bad boy for upwards of $350,000, even with such a small lot of property. So there's that. But I think I'm going to do copper and then verdigris over it. Really make it look like an aged copper thing on there. Yeah. So let's go. We'll just move that to here. Real quick, we'll turn our this bad boy on. We want to dry the roof. Just make sure it's nice and dry. You shut up. Oh, I didn't do the inside yet. Oh. Front lawn damage from the 18-wheeler. Yeah, that's true. You can get at least 10,000 off for that. I think you should put an offer on it. Oh, big storm. He's so handsome. Love you, buddy. Yeah, super quiet, huh? You would not have to move your stuff very far. Let's do the inside, buddy. Can't keep the park. 400-foot dirt lane of death. Well, that's, you just park right near the road. That way all you have to do is walk down there and dig out the end of the driveway and then drive off. You just have to walk the 400 yards every morning to your car. I do have to say, I can't remember a winter this cold around here It's been pretty goddamn brutal. But it was so brutal yesterday, I just couldn't get the Jeep to turn over. I went out today when it was, quote, warm. And when I say warm, it was like 30, maybe, as a high today. And the Jeep turned right over. So I let it run for a bit. But I was just... It's been ages since it's been that cold where the battery was a concern. Like a brand new battery, too. It's not like, this is a 6 or 7 year old battery that's on its last legs before the spring. No, this is newly purchased last year battery. And this winter weather has just made a fool out of me. Have a good one. Timbo, be good. The worst winter. Yeah, I can't remember when it's been this cold for this sustained amount of time. We've had snowier winters for sure here, but just the sustained brutal Arctic cold that's lingering is not something that I'm a fan of. And it's funny because I know, I'm aware that I bitched last winter where I was like, oh, now we're going to have winter again. But like, this is a different animal. This is not normal winter. This is nature going, fuck you. You're ruining this planet. This is what you get. And I'm like, nature, I didn't specifically do this to you. Why am I getting punished? Heat on full blast. Yeah. And I'm willing to bet that place is not properly insulated. I know I found a couple of seams like where we had the windows redone that they never caulked, and I can feel the cold air just seeping in. So once I get a couple of days of above 35 degrees, I'm going to go caulk those holes, the seams, the gaps, and hope that that helps with the heat, keeping it in, and in the summertime, help keep the cold in, the cool in, when the temperatures get dropped by the AC. Because especially without the trees in the front that we used to have, my living room in front of my house takes heat all day. It gets hot. And so I want to improve that and save money because, yes, we could be doing better to save electricity to help the planet, but also apparently because these companies can just charge us whatever they want for electricity, it's now my responsibility as a homeowner to save them money by making sure that the electricity isn't being abused, I guess. I don't know. There's been a couple of outages due to high power draw, and they're like, we're just asking people to run only what's necessary to survive. You hear that sentence? like you guys hear that sentence you said out loud? To survive. Because the grid is that hurt. Thank you guys. How about you replace those bad pieces of the grid? Make the grid strong. Right? Isn't that the Tron slogan? Make the grid strong again? Something? I don't know. I just work here. Alright, let's get that cleaned up. We're going to use copper. Yeah, we'll use copper and verdigris. Verdigris glass. It's a glass, so we will use a glass. Electric is out of control. Yeah. Yep. They've, ours is run by a foreign company. And they're based out of Spain, and for whatever reason, they get to control our electric prices for delivery here. All I know is I've had the same electric wires and the same transformers on my block for years and years and years. Honestly, as far back as I can remember, they've not been changed. And those wires still deliver me the same electricity, so I'm still trying to figure out logistically why the cost of them delivering electricity, which just moves down the wire. I understand how electricity works. I don't know if they know that, but people went to, elementary school science class. Know how the electricity works. It travels down the wire. But apparently that they get to choose that it costs more to deliver the electricity. And so now all the politicians locally are like, we need to do something about this. But also the grid is failing, so maybe we can't do something about this. Depends on who gives us the most amount of money. Meanwhile, people are like, hey, my electric bill tripled this last month. And their first thing is, well, it's colder. Sure, it is colder outside. But triple the cost for electricity when you're using similar kilowatt hours? I don't know. I'm just an old conspiracy theorist. That's all. We're going to do a little dry brush. I keep the house at around 67, 68 when I can. It's been real hard this winter. But one, it's like well, you should keep your electric low to save money. It's like, okay, sure. But also, I used to be able to live comfortably at this temperature. Like, I used to be able to afford paying the electric bill or half an electric bill or however, it was split over the years between living on my own and stuff or living with a roommate or moving, back home to take care of Graham and splitting bill costs and everything, helping her with that. Like, I used to be able to afford electricity. Now I'm like balancing, okay, I can pay X amount of dollars this month towards the bill. And they're like, oh, well, just get on a payment plan. It's like, you're missing the point. People should be able to live comfortably and not have to regulate their heating and cooling financially because it's so expensive to stay warm in the wintertime. Basic human survival skill, That's just me, though. Maybe I'm the outlier. Maybe I just don't understand how it works or, have a weird view of the world, but, feel like folks should be able to stay warm in the winter without bankrupting themselves and their families or making the choice between staying warm or having enough money for groceries. And, for me, it's not that bad, as I said. I just make my choice of okay, how much am I going to put towards the bill this week or this month or whatnot. But there are families out there for sure that are choosing between, do we get groceries this week or do we put money on the electric bill so that they don't shut it off? Or because it's been really cold, can we afford to crank the heat up a little bit to try and bring the temperature up? And I think that's pretty sad in the country that has the most out of any. We have the most wealth, the most available resources to make these things happen. Yet we have a failing electrical grid and, people making decisions like I just outlined. Weird. Yeah, I don't even want to open mine. I just call up and put money on it. When they start telling me what the balance is, I truly don't want to know. It's just going to piss me off. I'm not going to be surprised. I'm going to be like, oh, that's not so bad. I know it's going to be horrible. Yeah, I'll tell you, Adam, I have a whole house and mine isn't that bad. It may be up there now, but it's not that bad as in one month's bill. They're taking you for a fucking ride. And I'm telling you, somebody's leeching off your electricity there. I've told you this before. I'm convinced somebody's got something plugged in your garage, or they're running a lead cord off of your house and powering something else, because ain't no way. Alright, so we got the first coating of copper on there. Let's do this. And that's the flip side too, is if you have an empty garage below you, of course it's going to be colder. So you've got to heat it up. But yeah, somebody is absolutely got something, a charger plugged in to keep a motorcycle going, or a heater to keep something going, or even a grow, like you said, could be some grow lights or whatever. And like, if they're not cutting in on it, they need to be paying part of the fucking bill. Because that's bananas. Do one more pass. I mean, I've done plastic. I've done the plastic on windows before. Hang a blanket. I'll do the open blinds during the day to let the sun warm up the living room, and then close the curtains at night. Yeah. Honestly, I think the next time somebody's down there doing something, you should just walk right in. Be like, hey, whose electric's that hooked up to? Sure seems like it's fucking hooked up to mine. But I'm confrontational and sometimes an angry young man. Whoops. Found a little teeny tiny pocket of black wet paint. Fuck me all up right there. It's alright. It's okay. But that also that does explain why in the summertime it's so hot there. So those garages will get hot as fuck. And if there's not enough insulation underneath you, you're gonna freeze in the winter from a cold floor. And in the summertime you're gonna get a hot garage that doesn't exhaust air. And that pocket of hot air is just gonna sit there and act like a barrier and fucking prevent you from cooling the place down. my garage that's against the house. My my garage is against the house on the kitchen side, and it does get sun all the time, and it gets so hot in there. I'm actually looking to invest in a insulated garage door for the front. That's number one for the front side, to stop the heat from cooking the garage, but then also installing an exhaust fan that I can flip a switch on and draw that hot air up and out of the garage because it gets so hot in there in the summertime. All various little steps to make my garage a livable space, because I'd like to turn it into like a partial studio for my wood crafting, for cutting, wood to build things, but also like put a couple of couches out there, put a television, have a place to hang out that's not attached to the house, that's not like one of those things. And yeah, so those little steps, hopefully I'll be able to do those. But I know this spring, at the very least, if I don't do the garage door immediately, I would go ahead and get that fan installed out there so that I can exhaust that heat out when it starts to get hot, and that'll hopefully help keep the temperature of the whole home down. Might even invest in a better fan for the attic, because the attic space gets hot, and there's an exhaust fan up there, but it runs a lot during the summertime. And that tells me, if it's running constantly, that this house isn't as efficient as it could be. I'm doing the verdigris right now, just giving a light pass. Starting to build up that blue patina on there. Yeah. I just want to build this up. But like, I want all these properties. Pink insulation foam signals garage door recently makes the difference. Yeah, my thing is, the garage door is as old as the garage is when it was built onto the house. So the wood and particle board bits, or like plywood bits that are the panels and stuff, they've retained moisture over all the years. So they've got to get taken out. And how's it going, Don? Thank you for joining. They're gonna go ahead and get replaced. Like I said, I'm gonna pick a new door, probably something with no glass in it. I don't like that the glass can be broken out. I know people can pop the panels out and all that other stuff, but like, I don't want the glass on there, because I have very nosy neighbors across the street, the aforementioned murder house, and yeah, they just don't keep to themselves and pay too much mind to what I've got going on in my life. So I'd like to get that. So, and I have like material to put stuff on there, the window film, but I shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? So I'd like to put a nicer insulated garage door on there, make things a little bit better for myself. And as I said, make the garage a livable place so that I can do more larger scale projects out there, or go out there and just hang out. Like I said, have some friends over for some drinks in the summertime and hang out in a garage that's not super hot. Because apparently that's what you do when you hit 40s. When you hit age 40, you want to have a garage that you can have people in. But also, like, if I have company that comes over in the spring or summer and they want to crash out here because they've had a few or whatever, you know, hang out in the garage, pull the pull-out out, like, give them a place to stay. Drinking garage should have a dartboard. I do. Oh, relax, Train. I do have a dartboard in the basement somewhere. That was in the what's going to be the Sci-Fi bar area. It's just starting to layer that up on there. It's very apparent right now, the brush strokes. But I'm going to get it to where I want it. You'll see. You'll see. You'll all see. You sons of bitches. You'll all see. I play darts on my iPhone. Does that count as Dart League? Sure. Spite my... Hey, what's your name? What's your name? Ezekiel. Fuck you, Ezekiel. I keep threatening Adam that I'm going to come down there and work at his place of work for one season and completely turn the place around. To prepare it for his inevitable takeover. Starting to look like what I want it to look like. Yeah, buddy. Oh, I would fire them all the first week. No, I'd have to tell them. I'd be like, yeah, you don't understand. I'm not trapped here with you people. You're here with me. And then throw hot grease on somebody's face to send a message. Sorry, Calvin. You drew the short straw. Give me your Transformer. Yeah, buddy. Or Thackeray.
Time to go, Thackeray.
Right. Cool. I'm calling that roof done for now. It'll get sealed. Let's do the wood. First thing we want to do is clean this brush, because we may need it later. Have a good one, Ian. Be well. Which was downstairs watching porn stars. I don't know. Probably because it's Toy Fair this weekend. Probably going to be announcements about that. All right, so we got this guy out of the way here. We're going to get some brown to do some wood. But first thing we're going to do, turn this baby this way. Really wet our brush. Jared Leto to start. Fuck. Don't do that. He's going to play Optimus Prime. We're doing a wash on the wood to get in all the recesses, to give it a to pop, to make the wood grain, the wood grain that's on here pop. It's just a really wet brush and paint on there. You can see, filling in the grain details. And then we'll just go ahead and we'll take a little section here. Boom. Like this. Just I just work it all in the direction of the grain. There we go. Got some wood with the grain. And then we'll go back over here once we do the other spots that are wood with that wash. And then we'll dry brush it with a little more brown to make it pop out. Easy peasy. Beautiful breezy cover girl. Or something like that. Tron movie. Yeah, I feel like the last movie didn't do financially as well as they wanted. So rather than continue that story, they just fucked about, and that's what we got, is that garbage with Jared Leto. Here's what people want, more Jared Leto. Guys, you know, there's a lot of allegations against him and evidence that he's been doing some really unseemly things to younger members of his cult. Ah, you say cult. He's in a band. You know how people love these band people. Yeah, but it's like an actual cult. He has people call him Messiah. I think we should maybe hold off putting him onto in any movies right now, especially like big franchises. It could be dangerous. Put him in Tron and put him in He-Man, and let him have free creative reign over how he plays Skeletor. He wasn't terrible in Blade Runner, but you could certainly tell that that role was written for David Bowie and not him. Like it was abundantly clear that that role was made for Bowie and not for Spooky Jared Leto. All right. Okay. So now we've got that. Like I said, texture on there. So let's pull that out with some dry brushing. Actually, let's go with a smaller brush. Smaller brush there, right there. We'll do a saddle brown. Well, it's like the writers don't get to write anymore. They have writers' rooms. And then they have people that come in and do punch-ups. And then the directors want the actors to act, but like they give them fair, like free reign to act however they want for the role, which I don't get. It's like, okay, I could see if it's like, say, Ben Kingsley, you know, someone who comprehends how a script works, what they want from the film, what the studio, you know, is expecting from the role, those types of things. Sure, let Sir Ben Kingsley, I should say, play with the scene, chew on the scenery a little bit, explore the character, create some things. But then you've got like movies where, oh yeah, we came in and they kind of just gave us the idea of what was supposed to be happening and just let us run and talk. And we basically wrote the movie on the fly. And then it was up to the editors and the director to kind of cut together a semblance of a movie, which was close to what the studio wanted. And I think they really nailed that. Like, and what do I know? I don't write blockbusters. I barely write my little zombie books that I write. You know? So who knows? I could be and probably am way off on that. But that's what it seems to be, as somebody who watches a lot of films, movies as they were. I'm a big fan of the motion pictures, see? Here we go. We got some wood looking like wood. Wood. One eye. That had a little bit of moisture left on that. That was my bad. That was my bad, y'all. My bad. Excuse me. Sorry. Pardon me. My bad. Herder. Well, see, I loved Solo. That was the main reason I didn't want to see Solo, is because the way that the original directing team had done it, they were talking about making it like a Superbad style comedy, and that just ain't Star Wars. And then Ron Howard came in because he understood what Star Wars is supposed to be and made an enjoyable Star Wars movie. And I literally, up until opening night, had zero interest in seeing the movie, and then I went and saw it because I had a bad day at work and enjoyed the hell out of it. So, you know, lesson learned me, I guess. But also, thank you, Ron Howard, for coming in and saving that film, because I do not think a buddy comedy Star Wars is what we needed. I'm hoping one day Bryce Dallas Howard gets a movie, gets to do a Star Wars movie. She seems to also understand what Star Wars should be. And every episode of The Mandalorian that she's been involved with, everything that she's been involved with as far as Ahsoka goes, has been straight up money. So I'm always a proponent of that. Like, if someone's got the chops, they've got the chops. Make it happen. Oh, Solo would have been a great show. I keep hoping that with the Lando show that we get more Solo adventure. You know, be it, him just annoying the piss out of Lando, or being in a competing job or something like that. That's, non-trivial, but builds up on their relationship. Would be great. Great fun. I think good for everybody. And I'm dry brushing a base coat of brown onto these bricks. Now we're starting to pick up speed here. Now I'm starting to get into the my flow of what I want to do. All right. Next up, we're going to do... Actually, let me get that little corner right there. Like to do some... different brown here on the wood. Actually, let's not a different brown. Let's add a little bit of red. In the wood. I really got to get this vampire red. Remember that. Vampire red, kids. Uncle Family needs to replace the vampire red. Let's see how we can blend this red into the brown. A little bit more brown. Oh, too much brown. That's all right.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, that's good. Hell yeah. It's actually a nice color. So yep. Didn't we get a regular... No, that's right. We did not get white outfit Claire. I'm surprised she's not in the Hammond collection. That seems like... Or maybe that'll be a Indominus Rex lookout window set for San Diego. That'll be nigh impossible for anybody to get. Dry brush on there. Just one plank there. Put there. Cool. And then we're gonna go yellow. No, we have his vested look in the Hammond collection. His little blue shirt and his vest. If memory serves. Then again, I'm frequently wrong in life, just in general in life, not just about toys. It's starting to look like wood. I mean, personally, you know me, I'm not a completist when it comes to Jurassic like you were. So, like, I don't mind that there's plenty of stuff on the shelves because I'm not a completist. I don't have to buy it all, but it's cool that there's, like, options on the shelves instead of the same 12 fucking dinosaurs over and over and over again. Plus, we're finally getting T-Rexes that aren't, you know, varying shades of tan. Right. Now let's rinse that off. We're going to switch and we're going to put down some metal, some steel coloring to some of these shelves. Oh, do I want it to be metal? No, we'll do a bronze green, which I get, well, as I'm like, I don't want to do metal. I'll pick a bronze green, but that's going to be just a darker green, but I think that'll add a little bit of depth to the look here for these shelves on the fruit side, the fruit stand side. We're gonna do nicely. Cool, cool, cool. There we go. Start adding like that industrial color. The color of the desk that Adam almost had from my old office. Nice. Do-do-do. Starting to look like something here. I think we'll do the same color, because for the fruit side I do want the fruit to pop. It's just salt on those containers. What, on the shipping containers? It tasted salty when I licked them clean, so I was hoping that it was salt. Splashed on. Oh yeah. No, you're fine. It's semen. That's fine. There we go. And again, all that fruit and shit's going to be piled in there, so I'm not too precious about the interior. I'm going to seal it, but it's just going to have stuff piled in it, so I'm not overly precious about that. So let's go ahead and... Here, what I'll do... Well, I'm not precious about that. I do want that to look a little neater. There we go. And then we'll do silver on those racks on the coffee side. 89% vape fluid. Thank you. Watching it die. Jesus Christ. Drilling a hole in the side of the water softener tank and just going, shh, no more. No more struggling now. No more. No more. Go to sleepies. Go night-night. Plate mail, metal. Blue plate mail. Okay. Start right here. Okay, this one I get to be a little more precious on because it's entirely visual. Just loading up the interior of these shelves with some nice silver paint. Nice silver. It's plate mail by Army Painter War Paints. We're just getting all in there like swimwear. Okay. Oof. I'll just pack some paint in that backspace there. Oh yeah, pack my backspace. Inappropriate. It's a children's toy. Cool, cool. That's starting to look like something here. Now, I think I'm going to do a color on that piece that I just fucking put wet paint on. Let's do an emerald green. Because I think it's bold and it'll weather down nicely. Or do I want it? Yeah, we'll do emerald green. Why not? Maybe we'll shake that up a little bit first. There we go. That's more like it. Load up our brush. Okay. One day I'll get a second camera so you guys can see what I'm painting from this direction so I don't have to keep fucking bending and twisting like I'm a goddamn contortionist. It's my own fault. And I'm okay with the little bit that I get over here because that's going to get, this whole billboard thing's going to get its own deal. Soft water. Soft water. Imagine having water, not having to fight a Palantir bot for it. Palantir, excuse me. What doing, Stormy Storm? You being a boy? Oh, big stretch. I love you, Bobby. Oh, I love you, buddy. Hi. You good boy. You a handsome man. Yeah. Big stretch from the big boy. Okay. I have Wilson Phillips stuck in my head. Haven't heard it all day, but it's stuck in my head. And it's like if I just hold on for one more day and break free from the chains. Because I know that there's pain, but if I hold on for one more day and just break free, break from the chains. let's do these bricks. Donkey Kong. Of course you do. That's like your default music setting in your head. Like I said, it's got to be studied. You've got to be studied. Well, I guess real quick we'll fix that. Let me just fix this. Cool. Different brown. For the brick. I am going to use this. I am going to make templates for that. Just a different brown for the bricks. And then we'll go over them with tan. Or dry brush them with tan to make them pop. Oh, big yawn from the big storm. Love you, buddy. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll do gray around the bottom. Country gray. Country gray. Oh, she's a squirter. Alien radio. I don't know if the aliens are currently broadcasting Wilson Phillips into my brain. I guess they've got my number. Here's a okay, that paint sucks. We're not using that. I don't want that color anyway. It's not the color I want. So that means I'm gonna have to put multiple coatings on it. We'll do olive green, olive gray. It's fine. I'll use that gray for dry brushing some high points, but Jesus Christ, that other gray is terrible. I forgot about that. That's much better. Just going around the base here. We're going to go around and pick out all the screws and bolts. Paint those a color. Probably a metallic color, you know, on account of their bolts and screws. Cool, cool, cool. Right, all right. All right, let's add some tech to it. Let's sci-fi this bitch up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Greeley's. I know I'm going to put some type of antenna on there, so I'm not too worried about that. Actually, one thing I can do before we start gluing shit on here is I got to touch up a little bit of the brown with some saddle brown, because I need to. I forgot certain shapes are 3-dimensional and not just 2-dimensional, which happens from time to time. Absolutely just stuck my fingies into some paint. Sorry, I can touch it up later. Much more better. Anybody else accidentally forget that shapes have other directions? No, just me? I don't know if I want to watch that Famine's live streams. I hear that guy forgets that shapes have shapes. Not what I said. It is what I said, but it's not what I said. There we go.
Much better.
Alright. Now, I want to put some greeblies on here. To sci-fi it up. Get this brush all cleaned up I am going to put some type of antenna up there, so that I'm not too worried about. So I'm thinking some type of antenna on there, which I've already discussed ad nauseum. Repeated myself like 5 times, mentally clocking that I need to do that. Let's see here. We have some cablies in this thing, I know that much. Where I place the space foods. Now some of these are not going to go back on here, but some of them are. Some breads, the corn, that thing, the space bananas, tray. That'll work. Space cabbages. I think one side's going to be the food side, the other side's going to be selling stuff. I think that's a solid, like, when I say stuff, I mean like selling wares, goods, tangible items, not NFTs. Carrot, space banana. Save the sweets for another thing. Giant melon. Gonna use this for my antenna. Bread. Space corn. And I just got that, and I had a droid panel. And let's use the droid panel. Yeah. Nope, gotta put these away. Big storm. What's up, big man? Alright, so clean up my space a little bit here. Yay. Yay. Copper. Put those browns back over there where I need them for a different project. Put the yellow back. Yellow. Put that back there. Verdigris. Olive gray. Where do you go? All right. So let's dry brush this with some silver. This was a pre-primed section of technology. This is one of Jason Jensen's pieces off of one of his kits that I'm kit bashing, or that I have kit bash from already. We can go ahead and place this where do I want it? Right there. Hell yeah. So let's Scotch Brite the back of it just so that the paint that's on there is a primer. Doesn't interfere with the super glue. We got the super glue. Okay. All right. Cool. Got that on there now. Let's add some color to it. Blue. And we'll do blue and no, I don't want purple. Nope. That'll work. Bronze. Pink. Do a little gold Sharpie action for connection wires. Doesn't have to be too complicated. That's weird. Green, red. Space corn, mother. Adam, you already are a goblin in this dimension. All right. That's got that on it. And then let's put, we'll prime this real quick. Droid port. Well, ma'am, lady, they're interrogating somebody's kid or son-in-law, excuse me, and they're looking for the missing woman. And they went to the mother-in-law's house where the son-in-law was staying, and the mother-in-law's like, my kid's got nothing to do with it. Search the house. Go ahead. And she's like, clearly he's got nothing to do with it. He may not. But I mean, it's usually always in those cases where it's, you know, the in-laws are like, not our son-in-law. He could never take our daughter away and bury her in a septic tank somewhere. And then it turns out that he very much could. So I'd be a little... Boy, she's giving up all the information. She gave his name. His name is blah, blah, blah. He's got nothing to do with it. Ma'am, you may want to hold off on that and get yourself an attorney. Because even if that kid ain't got nothing to do with it, them cops might think he does. So you're over there giving away the... giving away this guy's name. Let's clip this. Yes. Colors, enameled 50s appliances. Maybe it is. Maybe I enameled these in the 1950s. You don't know. You weren't there, man. You didn't see what we saw in the 50s. There we go. Okay. Here's our antenna. Let's see how tall this is. That's gonna be something. I just don't know what yet. Let's go ahead and turn this on real quick. Try some paint. Put the droid port right at droid height. Maybe that's how people pay. That's how droid shoppers pay. This thing's nice and quiet. Digging it. There we go. That's off. If I could just attach. Yeah. Let's put that on this side. Super glue. That'll work. We've got like a sci-fi broadcast tower type thing. Maybe it picks up radio signals. Who the fuck knows? It's science, it's fiction. It's science fiction. This lady wants to be part of the story real bad because she has given up every detail about everything. Shining silver. Uncle Famine's got to replace that one too. There's so much detail on these Jason Jensen pieces. Nice when you dry brush and it just pops out. So let's go ahead here. Turn this sideways. Stick it directly up your candy ass. No. We'll glue that right there. Super glue. Super glue, where are you? Come here. Okay. Go right there. All right, that's on there. Now let's, while I've got that paint color out, let's do, where's the teeny tiny brush? There you are. Silver teeny tiny brush is wet. Pick up some silver paint real quick. Just pick up nails. There's a bunch of them on these boards. So we never skip the opportunity to add detail. Okay, those are all the nails, right? All the visible nails. Cool, cool. So let's now just color some buttons on this droid panel. Blue and red. There we go. Okay. 2 blue. Do one of them black. Maybe that's like the cancel button. I'll take red. All right. Let's do a quick pass of matte Mod Podge, and then we can start putting some stuff on here, I think. Yeah. Actually, before we met Mod Podge, let's be smart. I still want to put the trim so that I can put something on there. Big storm. All right. Cool. Outside. Do the same on this side real quick just to trim out that area. Well, that's not good, because if they said they don't need a warrant and they don't have a warrant, if they do find her, that shit can be admissible in court. Do I always talk to myself while I watch the news like this, guys? Yes, I do. All right. So we've got table with the droid. Bring this up to eye level here a little bit. So we've got table with the droid thing on there. We'll have to put like a little computer up there. It's like the cash register. Got a metal tray there. Copper roof. Some nice wood detail. Some type of electronic transmitter of some sort. And then the food will go in the display thing, and I'll make at a separate time, using this as a template, some advertisements to go on there. I'll just trace that out on a piece of paper and make my advertisements fit on there, or whatever I put there. Could be wallpaper. Oh, let's let that dry for a minute, and let's put some details on some space fruit. And first, water basket. Just a quick black wash. Wipe that off. Focus it. Just adds a little bit more character to it. Hi, Stormy Storm. Hi, buddy. I love you with your beautiful paws. I'm going to cut the handles off of it, too. Bye-bye. Let's do this. Across the top. Real quick, we'll do this. Okay. Now we've got a... He might be. He might be. Look, sir. Droids. Now get to work. Okay. Huh, Storm. He could be a mean Star Wars guy, huh, buddy? Take a little gray. Just dry brush this with a little bit of gray. Oh, big yawn. That out. Now let's take some. Oh, I've been told my facial expressions are pretty goddamn good. You know what I mean? Some Slaughter Red speed paint. All right, buddy? Yeah. Let's just take this red, glaze these space apples. All right. And or space pomegranates. I don't know what the fuck kind of fruit these are supposed to be. I guess they're supposed to be apples. And let's do a wash of peachy flesh on one of them. Just for a little differential. Okay. Let's do some purple carrots. Purple and orange carrots. All right. Okay. Who doesn't like a purple carrot? Oh, it's just got a purple glaze on it. I guess it looks pink on camera. There we go. Well, do a little more. Yep. Yep. Basket. Toss some apples in there. Okay. Let's see, you. Well, you're too small. Yeah, we'll use you. I want to get some Mod Podge on this thing. Protect everything before I do anything else. So let's do that together. What's going on, Thane? We're cruising towards the end here. Not quite yet, but we're getting there. Been working on this bad boy for a few hours here. Now we're sealing it up. Preparing it for loading up for final pictures and such, but still got some time here, so glad you could join us, friend. You're just waking up over there in Germany. I should be in bed asleep, but I'm not, because I was inspired, and so this is the results of my inspiration. check on the comments here in just a moment. Big storm, doing big stretches. Big man, yeah. Oh, buddy. They're still just going on about this interview that this lady gave in this abduction case here, and she just keeps going on and on about how her son-in-law is innocent and they were doing DoorDash, and that's why they were out. I don't understand why they pulled this person over, but man, that mother-in-law is going to bat for her son-in-law like a fucking champ. Good for her. But again, I really hope they get a lawyer in any case, especially if they are not involved in any sort of way, shape, or form with whatever's going on here. Because this lady is... she's one more interview away from giving up like family secret recipes and stuff, the way she's just talking about everything. And that's the thing, is if she's not directly involved, but she says something, she might get herself and stick her foot in her mouth and get herself in trouble that she doesn't need to be in. Like, instead of talking to the news, talk to a lawyer. Right. Check on my friends in the chat. Oh, look, Anthony's there. I am making good progress on this, and this bad boy has been a lifesaver tonight. I'm actually going to go ahead and use it one more again. Let's do some drying around here. I only burned myself once. Nebula, you gonna roll like a television in the classroom tomorrow and tell them they gotta watch a video? Is that why you get to be up so late? I have art to make, that's it. You were watching. Oh, he was watching. Oh, that's so sweet. You watched me burn myself. You didn't say anything. You didn't even check in on me. That's fine. That's fine, you know. You try to be a deer, you try to take care of yourself. You get a little hurt, you figure somebody will check in on you, but no. Turn that off. Get in here where I accidentally glooped up. So that, get that over there. Where did I want to apply this? I was like, oh, that'd be a great spot for this. All right. Okay, there's that. Now for the roof, I'll use the regular matte, aka semi-gloss Mod Podge, as a protectant. Oof. Oh no, I burned myself while I was working with it. And yeah, I have to mount the cradle to the wood on here. It was a busy work day today. They expected me to do my actual real job. So that was one of the things I wanted to do today, but didn't get to do. Are you reaching for me, buddy? Oh no. I love you. No, you're not. Okay. That's fair. Ceramics. Ugh. Boop. Stormy Storm. And I'm doing the semi-gloss on the metal just because it's going to look cooler that way. How about that? And I'm also doing this tapping because it's going to give it a nice texture. And this way, if I do any dusting with chalk pastels later, I'll have nice little recesses to connect with. Okay. Right. Good job. Oof. Stretch. Let's put green on the stems for these little apples. I also have other apples and fruits and things like that in another container that I can add. I just think it'd be neat to put a little green on the stem here. Cone 6. My grandmother was a sculptor. We used to have a kiln in our basement. It would be cool. No, no phone. Don't do it. Let that dry the rest of the way the old-fashioned way. Yeah. Jumped out. Try to get away. Drop. Back in here. I do like that that exists right there. It's a little cubby hole, so that's where it's going to return to. Same to that guy. Crappy gray paint. Space carrots. Just putting things away. Straightening up because Lord knows I made a mess over here. Body. Okay. Clean that paintbrush out because that's now packed with Mod Podge. Podge of the Modges variety. goes there. This guy goes here. Timber. These go in the trash. This goes back in the drawer. Hi, buddy. Yeah. He's my good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. You good boy, Storm. Yeah, say hi to the audience. So, hello, friends. Good boy. All right. So, we've got our... Please get upset all the time about everything. So we got a little sci-fi'd up stand. We're going to have advertisements or something there. But I've got the sticker. I was able to, using the heat thing, to peel the sticker off so I can make a template. But we've attached like a broadcast tower to it. So I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it. We got that done in one stream. That's what's up. We even got some of the fruits. Got those guys, just classied them up a little bit, gave them a wash so that they pop a little bit more and look more like real fruit. We'll be able to set them on display there. People selling them. I'll probably do the same thing with the watermelon because like there's actual detail. Like there's raised like watermelon stripes on there. Maybe I'll do those in a crazy color. Like orange or something. But we got space carrots. We got fucking space bananas going on here. This was a good set to pick up. Good little market stall. We got breads, baguettes, 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 opan. We got corn. I'm gonna paint it to look like the glass corn. The files are a hoax. I think Mulder and Scully would disagree. The bananas, I'll make those look like fucking crazy space bananas. But we got cabbages. My cabbages. So yeah, this thing turned out pretty dang neat. I appreciate you guys sticking around while I did all this bullshit. 'Cause this took a while. But it was a nice stream. Good time. Great oldies. But yeah, I want to paint the corn to look like glass corn. So I'll probably just pick out individual kernels as I'm painting other things throughout the time. Because it'll be neat. It'll be aesthetically pleasing. On the other side, maybe I'll load that up with like parts or something. But yeah, we got somewhere. Yeah, I've been trying to take the time, number one, because I like to be informed when I speak about these things, but number two, kind of feel like owe it to somebody, be it the victims or the people that, you know, it's further going to impact because of these fucking monsters that are likely going to get away with it in America, to read them. And it's like the more I read, it's just the more and more speechless I'm left of just like what can happen, right? So it's fucking crazy. But yeah, to go back to this timber, knock the ash over. To go back to this for a hot second here. You know, load this side up with like droid parts or mechanical things or whatever, or maybe even coffee. Maybe I just fucking come up and you get your free, you know, you pay and you get your beverage. Doesn't have to be coffee. You come buy a Gravely. Who knows? So that's the cool thing about Sci-Fi. But we definitely Sci-Fi'd it up, and we also have the sign that I've still got to make, whatever it's going to say on there. That'll get parked right there. And I think that'll do it. So I appreciate everybody who pitched into the goal. We're going to do the thing. We're going to do the cat thing. I'm counting that as 3 out of 5. I hope you guys have a great night. It's Wednesday. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. And I made this during the week. It's a thing I've been doing. But be well, guys. Too sweet me. Wow.